Eala trains with Rafael Nadal on anniversary of his retirement. The Philippine tennis star trains with Nadal in Mallorca, 1 year after his retirement. Mallorca, Spain. Filipino tennis star Eala shared a special practice session this week with 22-time Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal, held on Wednesday, November 19, 2025, exactly 1 year after Nadal's final professional match. For the 20-year-old Filipina, the session marked a symbolic return to the Rafa Nadal Academy, where she trained for years before rising into the world's top tier of women's tennis. A Filipina at the center of Nadal's anniversary hit. Videos released by the Academy show Eala and Nadal exchanging long baseline rallies and laughing between drills on an indoor court in Manacor. Nadal wrote that it felt great to be back on a tennis court, adding playfully to Eala, "Next time I will be stronger." Eala replied, "Back like you never left," reflecting both her admiration for Nadal and the familiarity built from years of training under the same system. While Nadal's anniversary appearance drew global attention, the moment placed Eala at the forefront of the day's narrative as a Filipina, who has become one of the youngest players to advance on the WTA Tour. A meaningful return to familiar ground. Eala has been part of the Rafa Nadal Academy since her early teens, and the program remains central to her development. Practicing again with Nadal, now as an established professional, highlighted how far she has progressed from her junior years. Observers noted that Eala handled the rally pace with ease, absorbing Nadal's heavy forehands and generating her own pace with confidence. The session reflected years of shared training culture and growing trust in her abilities. Nadal's continued presence and Eala's rising stature. Nadal retired from professional tennis after Spain's Davis Cup Finals campaign in 2024. His anniversary hit with Eala was not framed as a comeback, but as a tribute to the sport, the academy, and the young athletes he continues to guide. That he chose to mark the day by training with Eala carried symbolic weight. It signaled her rising international stature and her integration into the elite circles of the academy community. For Filipino fans, the images offer validation that Eala now competes and trains among the world's best. The practice did not involve trophies or ranking points, yet it resonated deeply. It underscored how Eala has become a significant presence in global tennis, capable of holding her own alongside one of the sport's greatest champions. The sun had not yet risen over Manacor, but the clay courts of the Rafa Nadal Academy already carried the faint memory of footwork drills and the whispers of forehands from the day before. In the pre-dawn coolness, the Mallorca air smelled of pine and sea salt, a sleepy reminder that the world was still waking up. Eala stood alone on court 3, bouncing a ball rhythmically against the ground, listening to the sound echo into the quiet. Today wasn't an ordinary day, not to her, not to the academy, not to the man whose legacy lived in these courts. It had been exactly 1 year since Rafael Nadal announced his retirement from professional tennis, and although he often avoided the word retirement, preferring transition, everyone knew the sport had carved a permanent shrine in his name. Alex tightened her ponytail, exhaled, and stepped toward the baseline. She didn't know yet that she wouldn't be alone for long. 1. The quiet anniversary. The academy grounds were unusually silent that morning. Even the young scholars, normally bustling with energy before breakfast, moved with an odd reverence. Some wore commemorative shirts, printed with Gracias, Rafa. Others whispered stories of the first time they watched him play. Alex remembered her own first moment. She had been 8 years old, wearing a too-big visor and clutching a worn racket, eyes glued to the television as Nadal lifted the Coupe de Musketeers for the 10th time. He had looked immortal on that court, solid, impenetrable, a kind of storm that moved with purpose. He plays like the ball owes him something, her father had joked. But Alex saw something different. She saw a man who loved the fight. That love was why she had uprooted her teenage life and moved halfway across the world to train at his academy. Why she adapted to the Mediterranean heat, the Spanish drills, the grueling schedule. Why she learned to play with a stubborn fire that felt almost inherited. And why today mattered more than she cared to admit. She hit the ball hard, too hard, and it clipped the net. Relax your shoulder, or the net will keep celebrating. A familiar voice teased from behind her. Alex froze, turned, and there he was. 2. Rafa returns to the court. Rafael Nadal walked toward her, wearing a simple gray hoodie, clay-stained sneakers, and a relaxed smile of someone who no longer had to fear the next injury, or the next press conference asking about it. His hair, longer now, moved slightly in the morning breeze. She almost forgot how to speak. "Rafa," she managed, a little breathless. "Last time I checked," he said, shrugging playfully. "Unless my statue came to life." Alex laughed, the tension melting from her shoulders. "You're not usually here this early," she said. "Perhaps today is a good day to break routines." He tugged at the brim of her cap, a gentle, brotherly gesture. "And you, why are you practicing alone? It's 6 in the morning." "Couldn't sleep," she said truthfully. He made a sympathetic sound. "Too much thinking."